Today I'm going to be showing you a way that we can take what we already know about multiplying by 10 and apply this to other multiplication problems. So I'm going to call this strategy 10 times more or less. So let's take a look at our first expression, our first equation. Okay, so here we know that 2 times 4 equals 8. Now how do we take that knowledge and use that to multiply by a multiple of 10? So notice, when we're doing 2 times 40, 40 is equal to 4 times 10. So once you know what 4 times 10 is, then you can use this knowledge to solve this problem, 2 times 40. And we'll do that like this. 2 times 40 is the same as 2 times what? 4 times 10. 2 times 40 is equal to 2 times 4 times 10. And because of the associative property of multiplication, we can take these parentheses and change our grouping like this. So here we're grouping the 2 times 4 and then multiplying that by 10. These are all equivalent expressions. Okay, so knowing this, 2 times 4 times 10, we know if we're multiplying just by 10, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 10 is 80. All of these are all equal to 80. Let's try another one. We know that 3 times 6 is equal to 18. And now we have 3 times 60. And how do we know that it's equal to 180? Well, we can see that we have just added a 0, but why can we just add the 0? Well, we're saying that we are increasing, we're multiplying by a factor of 10 when we just add a 0 to the end. The reason we can do that is because we're showing that we have multiplied by a factor of 10. All right, so just as we did up above, 3 times 60 is equal to, well, 60 is the same as 6 times 10. So 3 times 60 is equal to 3 times 6 times 10. Because of the associative property, we can change our grouping. So here, we are changing our grouping with parentheses by saying that 3 times 6 times 10 is equal to 3 times 6 times 10. So we can group 3 times 6 together and multiply that by 10. And we know that when we're multiplying by 10, yes, we're adding a 0 to the end to signify that we have increased by a multiple of 10. So we know 3 times 6 is 18, times 10 is 180. Let's take what we already know and multiply another expression. 3 times 61. Well, we know that 61 is equal to 60 plus 1. Using that knowledge, let's keep going. All right, just as we did above, we are showing some equivalent expressions here. 3 times 61 is equal to 3 times 60 plus 3 times 1. And we already know that 3 times 60 is equal to 180. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So now we've been able to use what we already know to multiply an expression we don't know. We haven't memorized it. But now we know that 3 times 61 is equal to 183. Let's try another one. 3 times 59. We know that 59 is equal to 60 minus 1. So we're taking what we already know and applying it to a new situation. Let's rewrite an equivalent expression here. 3 times 59 is equal to 3 times 60 minus 3 times 1 because of this fact here. So let's keep going, taking what we know and applying it. 3 times 60, we learned up here, we already know that 3 times 60 is 180. 3 times 1 is 3. 180 minus 3, well, let's go backwards. 180, and we're going back 3, is 177. So 3 times 59 equals 177. So you can see that even though you don't know the standard algorithm, or maybe you just don't want to, you can take what you already know and use your number sense to help you to multiply in new situations.